Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise is brought to you in partnership with Drive Media and Consulting and their premier sponsors. Subscribe on your favorite streaming platforms and share. If you just found us, welcome. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Denise DiGrigoli has spent her life in the creative industries as an entrepreneur, helping people transform their visions into thriving businesses, working with individuals and teams to find their purpose and live their life vibrantly. On her pod, Denise delivers business intel and life hacks with wit and wisdom in short shots like a strong espresso with a solid sense of humor. Enjoy this episode of Mav's Coffee Clarity, and here's Mav.
Welcome, my friends. You're on Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise. We're a show designed to move you forward in work, life, and self-care. And come on, who doesn't need that nowadays? I'm typically interviewing MAVericks, change makers, entrepreneurs, people that have done incredible things with their life and their businesses in spite of their challenges. And they spill their beans here, one cup, one conversation at a time. So if you're new, welcome. And if you're a regular, I appreciate you so much. Please like, share, and send this to someone that can really use it. And when I don't have anyone in the studio, it's just me, and typically I'm sharing something that's gone on with some of my consulting clients. That's what's happening today. It's Mav in a short shot. So I'm working with some startups, like in a startup incubator, and the question is, in evaluating their business plans or their business ideas, where do they take it next? First of all, if you've got a business idea that you want to launch, separate of maybe buying a pre-canned franchise or buying into something that exists, I'm talking about really solving a pain point of a problem you've experienced in your life or what you see. That's a really important thing to pump the brakes and think about. All right, I'm solving a problem. Is it just my problem? Or do I know that other people have this problem that I could provide a product or service for that might solve it? And while I'm providing this product or service, am I going to be able to generate revenue? So long before, because we all live in our minds like, I got this great idea, I'm going to make this product and it's going to solve my problem. And when it solves my problem, it's probably going to solve 10 other people. So I say to someone I've been working with, survey some people that might be within your target audience, or nowadays we call it buying persona, or psychographic or demographic of the ideal audience, the people that might buy this. So is it a particular age group? Is it a particular culture? Is it a particular area in the country? Is it a people that only like, pink chocolate milk? We got to really get a little granular and test the market with some valid surveys and questions, and then we look at our competition. This is where people get really hung up. They say, well, this competition is doing it this way, so I'm going to copy them. No, then we're not solving the problem, we're copying them. Think about Starbucks. There was, all kinds of coffee shops, including Dunkin' Donuts, when Starbucks came in, 20 years ago and flipped the coffee industry on its head because of the way they approached it. So sometimes new things are reinvented, solving a sort of a revitalized pain point. Is it, at that point, there were no really $5 cups of coffee. Dunkin' was what, $2 back then, maybe? But there was an experience. And so you've seen the market shift into experiences and how those experiences are curated, and people that are willing to pay a premium, that's an audience, that audience. There's also people that don't want to pay the premium, that still want that little, cup of coffee from the street vendor in New York as cheap as it can be. So in evaluating your startup, there's so much more to it than just simply saying, I recognize a problem, or I want to start a coffee company because somebody just gave me a little bit of money and I don't know what to do. No, when we fail to plan, we plan to fail. So in the startup incubator, I say, what is the problem? Let's take it through its paces. Let's see who might be interested. Let's do some focus group or surveys. Then let's think about the end result of fitting in with the competition. I never want to look like my competition, because then I am my competition. I want to diversify. I want to have that unique point of view. And from there, I can start to craft a plan. What does the product or service look like? How much of it do I need to sell in order to make a functional living? What's a functional living? I don't know. Where you live and your zip code will determine what your functional living is. And most businesses still take 6 months to a year to even remotely come close to turning a profit, never mind breaking even. So you have to have a little savings. Now, I'm not talking about our friends that go for VC money or big, huge scale projects. I'm talking about local, small business or regional business. America runs on small business. I mean, more than 80% of our gross national product is on small business. So there's a lot to think about here, my friends, a lot to think about. But, I don't like but, yet, if we plan and we think about it and we do our homework, we're more prepared to put our toe in the water. So business planning after that looks like, what are the resources? Are you doing it on your own? Is it a side hustle? What kind of tools do you need? Is it simple programs like Canva and Vistaprint? Is it people? If you need people, then you need to be prepared to pay them like a regular living wage so they want to stick around. That involves payroll tax and federal tax and Social Security tax and possibly insurance. So there's a whole bunch of things you have to think about when you're designing a product or service that may be launched in today's environment. And of course, we have so many tools right now. So many things on social media are free, right? You can promote it on Instagram practically for nothing. You can promote it on Substack practically for nothing. There's so many ways to do it on a DIY, but to do it smartly so that it scales and grows, just like in my prior episode with my intern Taylor, right? No brand grows overnight, and you got to be able to pivot, adjust to the market, adjust to what your clients and customers are saying, adjust to unforeseen things like what if another pandemic happens? Or in my case today, walking in here, I fell in the driveway. Who would have thought, right? So I was late, and that disheveled me. But guess what? I think when you're prepared, right? Chance favors the prepared mind. Then even if you fall in the driveway, you're ready to roll. That's actually the truth. I did fall in the driveway. Just can't see the Band-Aid on my knee. So I think for startups or anybody in an entrepreneurial situation, we also get very stuck doing the actual work. So you're building the business, you're building the brand, you're meeting with the clients, you're making sure the product or service is refined, and you're keeping the pipeline. It's easy to get distracted. That's why a real solid business plan, and I don't mean like in the old days to be like, make a business plan 5 years out. Nothing's happening 5 years out. It's happening 1 to 3 years out. But when you have a plan, and dare I say a written plan, you're going to be all that more successful. So in short, if you need help with business planning and strategy, you can go to DeniseDiGrigoli.com, check out my site. I'd love to chat with you. And if not, listen to Mav's Coffee Clarity. Many of the people that come on are entrepreneurs, and their stories are inspiring. It's really like coffee with your sharpest friend, because you're going to get little tidbits along the way that are going to motivate you. There's not a lot of water cooler conversation when you're an entrepreneur. Typically, you know, you're at the top and you're trying to make it all work and not let people see you sweat. So the more you can be around people that give you good information or, you know, support what you're doing, the better off it is. That's my little short shot for today. You know, plan out your business. Listen, the cool thing about that is you can scratch it out and change and pivot as you need. And the really big benefit to that is when you write it down, chances are you're going to put it in that trajectory and you're going to be all the more successful. Peace out, my friends. Mav has got to get back to work.